Hello my dear viewer, today we continue to ask the question who is the worst content creator on this beautiful platform called YouTube. This video will look at 3 channels which are or were quite popular. I think they all had in common is a very dark and disturbing side hidden behind a nice and friendly front. And I also wanna apologize because I didn't put out so many content as usual, because December started so chaotic and so many crazy stuff happened. I am simply amazed how things could go wrong so quickly, but that's how life is, I guess. What important is that you are here to see my new video and I'm happy about that. And also because the previous video is doing just amazing, so thanks to every one of you. To not waste your time anymore with this intro, let's dive into these 3 obscure channels. We are going to take a look at a YouTuber who abused his girlfriend, a crazy YouTuber who thought that sexual harassment is a great way to get views, or the craziest of them all, a guy who conducted experiments on his partner to test crazy theories. There is so much to talk about here, so I recommend you grab something to snack, a cold beer or perhaps a hot coffee, and let's dive in. But just a small thing before we start. I thank you so much for tuning in and I really hope you will enjoy this video.
So today, this is the new series that I've been kind of working on for, well I say working on it, it's piss easy.
We are starting layer 5 with a guy called Jake Parsons, better known online as Trollzus. If you want a very simple explanation of what this channel is about, the answer would be trolling. Jake started his YouTube journey on January 30, 2012. As his subscriber count grew into the thousands, he diversified his content with Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online Let's Plays and music videos. But besides these games, he also liked to play Ghost Simulator, Call of Duty Ghosts and Advanced Warfare.
Move out, team. Okay, team, you're 2 down. Let's do this. Oh,
You just say like fist me daddy in that voice.
fist me, daddy.
Jake even ventured into MLG videos and montage parodies, and eventually creating what could be considered the most successful series on his channel. So this is the first somewhat red flag. He created a thing known as the sex demon, where he puts a demonic voice and says overly sexualized things to see gamers' reactions.
Shut up, you rat, you get digged out. But this sauce is blocking me and I'm actually gonna dig his mum out.
Would anybody here like to do a real life human centipede with me?
You need to shut your mouth, you little muppet, before you get a scissor kicked to your head.
Oh my god, there's a princess in the game.
She's my princess, shut the f*** up before I break your face.
Quit it with that creepy ass voice.
I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, I'm starting to feel you, boy.
Oh my god! Get off the
Fuck, you're
case!
creeping right.
You're a YouTuber, you're shit at it, so you can get out my phone.
But this was also undeniably the most successful series on his channel, with views reaching into the hundreds of thousands. His most popular video is a compilation of this sex demon that was made for his 50,000 subscriber special. The video has since gained over 900,000 views. As he started to transition his content to more a commentary channel, he made his final sex demon video on April 14, 2016. And slowly started to making fewer gaming videos as well. Although for nostalgia reasons he also uploaded a trolling video in May 2017, but he didn't use his demonic voice because he found out that doing so would cause him health problems. But he also disappeared from the internet for a while just to have a brief comeback in 2019. Only to disappear again. But why did he disappear in the first place? Let's take a closer look at this. So there was allegedly a rape case against him. In 2016, his girlfriend accused him of rape because he forced himself on her even if she said no. There is proof of that, like screenshots, but because such cases are very hard to prove, the case was eventually dropped.
The allegations that were made against me with the whole rape thing with Maya, they have been dropped. The police have saw all my evidence to defend myself. I've had my interview with them, a voluntary one, haven't been arrested or anything by the way, and they've understood from my perspective. They had hers first. It was a woman detective, so there wasn't any sexism involved. And yeah, they were dropped. So if you want to keep making memes about me being online, go for it. But you can have your own opinion. But I know myself that, like I said, all the way back in April when she first, not even April actually, no, it was sooner. I need to stop talking because I haven't thought about this for quite a while, and unless it's someone making a meme on Twitter. So yeah, that's all been dropped, and I just want to get on with my own life now. Yeah, cool.
But if you take a good look at his apology video, he didn't apologize for anything, and he didn't say that this wasn't true, but rather that the case was just dropped. Because there were many memes created about this, and the pressure of the YouTube community, Trollzus disappeared, at least that's how some explain it. But I still think this was enough to put him on the list, because what he allegedly did to his girlfriend was just disturbing and wrong in so many ways. This YouTuber has a quite reputation online for being very attention seeking, but just how far he would go to get views is the question.
Shall we make out right now?
Why?
How old are you? I'll give you a kiss on.
Oh, do it!
Do it!
Oh, do it! Oh,
Okay. Oh.
She said
Our
after
kids
the fun.
watching.
But before we start dissecting the things he did, we need to look at his past to understand him a bit more. Samuel Sam Pepper is a famous YouTube prankster, born in Kent, England on March 26, 1989. He made videos in the United States and the United Kingdom. What distinguishes him from any other prankster channel we covered in the last videos, which I highly recommend you watch, he would do something very inappropriate. To take it a bit back, Samuel, after graduating technology college, initially pursued graffiti art but transitioned to YouTube in 2010 with his first video. Sam gained further recognition as a contestant on the 11th season of Big Brother, eventually being thrown out on the 7th day, mostly because nobody liked him.
Well, do what you're supposed to do then.
And his next move was to make it big on YouTube. He started his channel September 8, 2010. Here is where we encounter our first problems with him due to the scandals he caused.
I don't like that. In the past,
So you see, because he's a prank channel, you can assume he did some things that rubbed some people the wrong way, or may I say pinched the people the wrong way. By the time he really started to dive into the world of the pranksters, he quickly realized he needed to stand out, because the market was saturated with fake YouTube pranksters. So he gave the users what they wanted and did things that others didn't want to do. From asking random people about the most crazy sexual experiments.
He put a banana in the freezer to make it cold, and then he ate it out, you know where he ate it.
Wow, how did that feel?
Bomb, because it was cold. And then
Skin on or skin off?
skin off.
But besides that, he also forced himself on random girls trying to kiss them, where the girls would mostly were completely confused about what is going on. The most notorious things he did and why he hit the headlines is because of a so-called social experiment where he would pinch girls' backs.
He also tried to claim that he had consent from the women in the videos. What he may be referring to is getting his consent form signed after he's done it to use the footage. When some of these women were actually asked if there was consent, their answers suggested no.
Those are things I'm not quite sure if I can show nowadays on YouTube without facing any consequences. At the time, some videos were of female YouTubers pinching men's back and there weren't any outrage. So he wanted to do this prank as a social experiment, even stating it was all staged. Because of this, he got a huge backlash, even if he stated this was just experiment.
So then I wrote an open letter to Sam asking him with respect and civility to please stop making videos like this. In less than 24 hours, over 100,000 of you signed the letter. That included many YouTube heavyweights like Hank and John Green, Hannah Hart, Grayson Mamrie, Tyler Oakley, Wheezy Waiter, Dan at NerdCube, Strawberry17, Cat Rivik, just tons of.
Because this controversy really hit the mainstream, a girl steps out in a video that is sadly deleted, where she stated that she was sexually harassed by Sam.
You like unattach us?
Yeah. For a kiss.
Just need to put this.
No, can you get away from me?
And he's forced his mouth on uncomfortable looking beachgoers who are clearly confused about what the hell is going on.
They were apparently in a movie theater when this happened. The biggest problem was that the girl was 16 at the time and he was 23. Even if in England the age of consent is 16, this is definitely something to have in mind while discussing Sam's persona. Of course, he and his lawyers deny everything about this. This video ultimately caused Sam's reputation to take a huge hit.
Women are sexually assaulted every day in millions of seemingly small ways, which other people don't see as bad. And yet they affect the woman on the end of them. Chose to use sexual harassment as the focal point of the experiment. That way, I could pass it off as a prank, pretend it's harmless, and watch all you guys go crazy in the comments. And I'm so glad you did.
After this, many more girls came out with the same problem they had with Sam, because he would take advantage of them, while most of them being underage. Sam knew he could use young girls because they were his fans, so he manipulated them to send him naked pictures. Like in the previous video mentioned, it is just sad how some YouTubers treat their fan base. This is utterly insane if you ask me. So yeah, this is a man with a very shady history where he publicly harassed girls, handcuffed them and even tied them with a rope.
He's physically restrained women with rope, lassos, almost got himself beat up over it, handcuffed himself to girls and told them he won't let them go until they make out with him.
But sadly, not only that, but with all the girls that came out with the sexual harassment he's done, this is not the end of him.
I started to get letters from young women who were allegedly groped and harassed at music festivals, conferences, meetups. There were tons of stories. Another young woman, a fellow YouTuber, told me of a time that he invited her to crash at his place and then threatened to kick her out on the street if she wouldn't get sexual with him. One of the girls we've been exchanging over Skype, and hearing her voice shake and hearing these stories is just so deeply upsetting to me, and I knew that I could not let this go. I could not let it be swept under the rug. I knew that if I didn't say something, then who knows what would have happened.
Yeah, you heard me right. So Sam had two friends who were also YouTubers called Goldback and Brock, and the video they made was just insane. The plan was that Sam would kidnap Goldback and kill his best friend Brock in front of his eyes. This was a viral video, but it was also very faked. The video obviously hit mainstream portals, even going so far that the hacker group Anonymous tried to interfere with YouTube because they didn't do anything about this. Even if some creators pointed out that he broke so many guidelines because of this video, they said to him he needs to remove this video. They only stated 3 years later that this video was faked, and many believe this video was generally real. But enough of Sam. What is important about him is that he is still somehow making videos which are some like blog type videos, and the videos he's currently making are getting just a small fraction of the views he would usually get on his channel. And now he's not stopping being a controversial character on YouTube, even promoting crypto scams on his channel, as later discovered by CoffeeZilla.
Can I tell you something about I learned from talking to Sam Pepper?
Tell me.
The man is a master manipulator. Yes. I felt like he was trying to manipulate me the entire time. The second he started talking to me, he's so manipulative, and he's so much better at it than Kay. I could just tell immediately. So one thing he would do is like he would address every single thing I would say that he had a valid point on, and never talk about, just ignore every question that like he couldn't defend. So I'd be like, hey man, like this looks like you're fleeing from the like US. And he goes, no, dude, I mean, the UK just lifted their mask mandate. I had to go back. And I was like, but what about the like car you sold? He just like wouldn't respond. And then I'd ask another question, and if he had a good response, he'd respond. But if he had no great response, he just like would stay silent. Like, so he knows the game.
The next one on this list is Exerbia, a very popular British YouTube creator. His real name is Alexander McKishney or Mikishny or something like that. He does have a very big YouTube channel with 2.75 million subs, and his channel is very healthy as of today, and many of his videos he's currently making are hitting the 1 million milestone in regards of views. He has become known for his unique style, which blends science, philosophy and humor in a thought-provoking and entertaining way. He covers topics such as nature of consciousness, the meaning of life and the mysteries of the universe. He is also a writer and made books like Bridge to Lucid Dawn, The Prince of Milk, A Logic Beach and The Fifth Science. His creations encompass a mix of short stories and structured narratives, constantly delving into the themes of romance and human connection. His channel's central focus revolves around consciousness, futurism, and the intricate relationship between humanity and advanced technology. But why is he on the list? From this short introduction there isn't anything out of the ordinary, am I right? Well, this popular channel, like many others we saw in the previous videos, has a very dark part hidden in its history, which the creator of this channel tries to hide under the carpet. You see, despite his popularity, there isn't so much information about his personal life, but what we did find out is his relationship with Piek Roelofs. Piek Roelofs is a Dutch activist, photographer and whistleblower. Wiki description of a whistleblower or whistleblowing is activity of a person oftentimes employing revealing information about activity within a private or public organization that is deemed illegal, immoral, illicit, unsafe or fraudulent. Whistleblowers can use a variety of internal and external channels to communicate information or allegations. The two met where Exerbia was a still very small channel, where he had only 2,500 subs and Piek had 10,000 subs. To keep it a bit short, he managed to trick her into working with him on a project by lying to her about his background. They both started to research synchronicity. In psychology, synchronicity is defined as the occurrence of meaningful coincidences that seem to have no cause. It is based on a concept of Carl Jung. The most simplest way to explain this theory is when someone tells you a certain song reminds them of you and you suddenly start to notice this song, even thinking how strange it is that this particular song is played at the exact time that relates you with that person. Well, Exerbia started an experiment on her. The poor girl started to have panic attacks because of that and wanted to stop this.
But if I add the aggressive part, like shaking me and grabbing my wrists and shouting at me, if I combine that with what happened earlier in that message, it's first it was one red flag, and then I thought, you know, I'll just trust you, even though.
But he wanted to find meaning behind this theory. The thing is that he tried to create even fake synchronicity around her, which of course freaked her even more out. As she was suffering from suicidal tendencies and depression, he still wouldn't stop to talk about it and make the whole situation even worse. The most surreal thing about this is that he knew about her mental state and still talked about life, death and other concepts that could be very damaging to a person that is suffering from depression. Piek was hospitalized in November 2016 for acute stress disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression and thoughts of suicide. During her 7-month hospitalization, she started to talk about how he started to threaten her between November and December of 2016, basically blackmailing her to leave the hospital to talk to him while she was drugged with prescribed medication. When she finally met him, Exerbia allegedly raped her while she was unable to fight him because of the medications, one of them being Xanax, a well-known date rape drug according to Wiki. When Piek was discharged from the hospital, she gave up her career as an international photographer to focus on her recovery. Sadly, the police did not do much about this.
80s reconstruction, however, was a whistleblowing article on Dutch police failure, a 1-year investigation. The day before they published it, they wrote front page about the low conviction statistics in sexual abuse cases and how many remain on the shelves for years before they are investigated.
As she stated, he basically received a jail-free card because of that, which must be such a spit in the face of the justice system, but sadly she is not the only victim to such fate.
AD researched these shelved cases because I provided them with a secretly recorded call with the police, where the police told me just in Limburg alone, where I live, over 130 cases had been shelved. Due to this, AD realized the number of shelved cases the government said we had in our country, around 350, had to be wrong. So AD investigated this and found out that the Netherlands actually had 945 cases on the shelves, 19 even longer for 2 years. So this was the plan. First come with the statistics, and the day after give an example of a police investigation where everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And that was the Exerbia case.
The biggest problem was that she was at the time hospitalized when she tried to sue him.
Oh, definitely. Due to it, the police recognized some mistakes to AD and that they initially refused my criminal complaint. Questions in the Dutch House of Representatives were asked following the article, and I've also been told it's been discussed at a university here to teach students about police failure, and that's a good thing, that my testimony has helped to open up a conversation.
In March of 2021, following the Exerbia criminal case, Code Media and Rappel reported to Pike, where she received death threats, even accompanied with images of deceased individuals.
Well, that article was about companies like YouTube who rarely take action when people are targeted on their platform. Code investigated Exerbia for 12 months, saw the evidence and how he allowed fans to smear and dox me on his platform. It was in the public interest to warn people.
Subsequent to those revelations, the Exerbia Reddit community, which is over 20,000 people, stated that the YouTuber has made some poor moderation choices and targeted and defamed Pike. The community acknowledged the negative impact on Exerbia's actions and recognizing an ongoing defamation campaign against Trollzus. Because of this, the consequences are that Exerbia was banned for moderating his own community. This is definitely a quite complicated case, which is still going on if I'm correct.
AD was very concerned that if he would be named, this reconstruction would become a story about a YouTuber. The news didn't want to put focus on Exerbia. They wanted the failure of the police and the discrimination of psychiatric patients to be addressed. So that's why they didn't name him.
If you want to take a deeper look into these investigations, I would recommend you visit the channel called Bullet Barry on YouTube, but definitely Exerbia is a guy who deserves to be on the list for the worst YouTubers, because the experiments he did on the poor girl and even the alleged rape is something definitely that nobody deserves. Sadly, Exerbia is still making videos and didn't make any apology videos because of this.
Pretty much. Sexual abuse has essentially been decriminalized, and the only way we have been able to prove this is because people have come forward and allowed the media to investigate their cases. They were mocked and targeted for speaking out, silenced even, but survivors speaking out is what's needed to address this. This is why I came forward too, to help expose the system. I knew how much evidence there was and is in my case, and they just refused to investigate. I started speaking to others and found out I wasn't the only one this happened to. That's when I realized, after I was doxxed over and over again by Exerbia's fans, I might as well give up my anonymity completely, give my case to the public, to the media, to show people that justice most of the time doesn't exist unless you fight for it. And I'm willing to do that. All I need is help.
In this episode, we definitely look at 3 weird surreal characters in the YouTube space. The things I have discovered really shocked me. How even big and successful channels can hide so many disturbing things. Please, don't harass anybody mentioned in this video. This is only to shed light on things that they definitely need to be shared and not buried away and forgotten. If you know about any other channel that should be on the list, like always, state them down below and I will add them to the extra layer with your wishes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, consider leaving a like, subscribe to the channel, join my Patreon or YouTube membership to help the channel a bit more so I can make more videos like this. And that's all from me now, and I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye.